Good morning and welcome to another Monday Morning Tips. We're here to help you with your writing, getting your books ready for publishing and a lot more. So Heather, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Karen.
So what our topic today is, we're talking about social proof, testimonials.
Testimonials, we are indeed. Whenever you have your book out and people are going to look, how are you going to let them know? Where can you get kind of that social proof, that testimonial about the book or about you as an author, or both?
Yeah, or it doesn't, if it's your first book, it's what you do as a, how well you're known about your topic, how you've helped your clients and things like that. So one of the first books we were talking about, I hope I've got this right now, is Pete Longton.
Be Heard to Be Rich.
Be Heard to Be Rich. Yeah. And I'm just trying to find.
So a lot within Pete's book is really where he has reflections from. So a big part of his book is around the story. So people will go on to his Fire in the Belly podcast and they share their life story. It's a very special podcast. If anyone hasn't had an opportunity to listen to it, it's called Fire in the Belly podcast. So within the testimonials really come from the reflections of his guests and the impact that being heard by Pete has had on them. Yeah. Now, personally, I had the privilege of going on to do a life story talk. I know you have as well, Karen. Yeah. And I was a typical guest that he talks about in the book in terms of you get an email to say to allow up to 2 hours, and I was one of those people who thought I could never talk about myself for 2 hours. There's no way, and all of those things. And for his book and for him as a person, he really has learned to listen. He has a lot to say about the importance of listening and how that helps you listen to your inner genius. And for me, in my reflection and my testimonial, I really share how he guided me through a conversation with myself, in essence. So that's kind of where the social proof comes within his. So very, very different, looks different. It's a reflection. There's story pieces from some of the guests. I have another author here, Seamus Fox, A Crouch to Success.
Just before we go on, before we finish with this one, I just wanted to say that when the testimonials were in here, they're actually towards the back of the book.
Yes.
So we'll be showing you a few books where the testimonials are in different places, and it comes down to personal choice. So before I put that one away, I just want to say that, sorry, ignore my bookmarks. Yeah, in this one, it was part of the back of the book, and there was a lot of social proof and a lot of marketing actually in the back of this book. So yeah, testimonials can go anywhere. So yeah. Sorry, Heather, the next one.
Well, I suppose maybe one that we're quite often that we would put the testimonials at the front of the book, because then it means people can read them if they're looking through or they're considering buying the book. And this is an example of one for A Crouch to Success by Seamus Fox, where again the testimonials are at the front of the book, and it's praise in this book for the author, for the book, but also for the author, but really showing that he is someone who can talk about mindset. What he has done for his clients, the different people that have written, different authors as well who've worked with him, yeah. And the difference that he's made in their lives and why they would encourage you to listen to him.
So Phoenix, this book Phoenix, I am one of those people who likes the testimonials in the front.
Yes.
Okay. And it is actually the very first thing that you see in the book when I produce a book. Okay, now the reason for that is if I use it because with marketing on Amazon allow you to read so much of the book, and you can flip through a book if you're looking at buying. And for me, the thought is people don't know me. So I like to use the testimonials, because then someone who is browsing that book and sees the testimonials, it gives them more confidence to buy the book. So testimonials for me are always the very first part of the book. And the testimonials, this book was a different one when I wrote about challenges and overcoming. It was more what I call the tangible skills that you need to use. And my testimonials were from a wide range of people who would either ask me to speak at their events, had bought previous books, had been on courses. So I used a wide range of people and put those testimonials in the front here, because I had no idea who the type of people were who were going to actually buy. I knew the audience I wanted to target, but you really don't know who's going to be reading through the book. So I wanted to make sure there was a variety of testimonials from different types of people in there for that one.
I think that's important, isn't it? Because whenever you're looking at the testimonials for a book, you know, you're looking at what are the different things that people are taking out of it, how are they impacted in different ways, exactly for that reason, so that people can share these different things. I suppose I would use the word resonate, but different things will be important to different people. So it's not that you're trying to serve everyone, but certainly a book generally will have a number of messages and a number of takeaway points. So it's making sure that they're reflected through the testimonials that you're using. For this, for a lot of the books, especially the non-fiction books, I suppose it is always about letting people know how and why, you know, you're equipped to talk on a subject.
And I've got another book here, which is the one that I did earlier this year. I did this with Kyle Wilson, who is who was Jim Rohn's partner for 18 years. So if you do anything on mindset, then you will know who Jim Rohn was. And Kyle was his partner. Kyle is a marketing genius and works with so many of the top mindset people in the world, top musicians in the world. He's usually the person behind them. Now, what Kyle has done is he has put the title of the book cover first. So he hasn't gone straight into the testimonials, and he's put his publishing details here and all the copyright for the book, and then he has put the testimonials in.
Yeah.
So it's slightly different in the way the layout is done to some of the other books that we've looked at, because I suppose he's getting the book, his marketing, his publishing, and then into the testimonials. And again, he has a wide range of people who have written testimonials in here. And, you know, we've got Brian Tracy. I think most people know who Brian Tracy is. Phil Collen, who's a singer, songwriter, guitarist for Def Leppard. Mark Victor Hansen, who's the Chicken Soup for the Soul. I'm trying to just look at some of the people who are in here. Rock Thomas, he's a best-selling author, Amazon Music, R&B hitmaker. Kevin Eastman, he's an NBA world champion coach. And these are just some of the people that are in here. So that shows you that he's creating the social proof for this book right at the very beginning with the testimonials. Heather.
Yeah, well, I think it just really echoes the importance of them. What I would say, I suppose, before we finish, people might be thinking, well, what about non-fiction books? I think testimonials are, as we've said, they're really, really important in non-fiction books. They are expected. And I totally understand what you're saying there about the reasons for putting them at the front of your book, you know, so that people can read that. If they want to have a little sneak peek at the book, you know, they're seeing that straight away. We've also talked about that they can look different, they can be in different formats. So they can be the short synopsis, they can be praise for the book, praise for the author, praise for what you do, or they could be, as in Be Hard to Be Rich, the reflections. Now there's also testimonials at the back of the book, but there's also reflections which are a longer story, where people were given a couple of pages, a few pages. And I think it's really important. It's lovely to have that. It can be very nerve-wracking, I would say, to any authors out there, and I understand, to go out and say to someone, would you give me a testimonial? You may have them, you may be collecting them. Sometimes you just might have to send your book out and ask if people are willing to give a testimonial back. I would say, bear in mind, generally it's not personal. If people are busy and they don't have time, that's fine. But it's a great joy when you do get them back, and something that stands to your credit. And when you have them in the book, that's them, they're captured forevermore.
And the thing is that the one thing to highlight is it's your book. You are self-publishing, and you can be as creative as you want with your book. You can make it stand out as differently as you want. So there is no right or wrong as to where you put the testimonials, or even if you use testimonials. But testimonials are social proof for your book. But you are the author, the publisher of your book, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Not very often you can say that. Yeah.
Great. So we're going to wind up. We will see everyone again next week with some more Monday morning tips.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Heather.